Good morning, everybody. It is Friday. And it looks like a Friday according to this chart right here. Good morning, Jay, Bob Peterson, Sandra, Rick Shelton, Mr. Rodriguez. You know, I was looking back at the week. Man, we only had a good Monday. There wasn't much to do all week. Tuesday, we had a couple penny stocks pop up, and that was about it. Good morning, Top. We sure need this market to turn around. Hope everybody has a good weekend planned. Take a break away from staring at these charts. If you're new, watch a few videos over and over and over again until you're sick of them. You got to plant the thought. You got to absorb the information until it sticks. Come here every morning, 5 days a week, and watch the live streams. We give perfect demonstrations when we get a stock pick. So is Eton a stock you've been watching? Good morning, who loves? So it's 6 o'clock. Let's see what happens. Watching for moving numbers. I should say we're watching for numbers that keep moving because they don't. This is what we do right here is we focus on these volume spikes. And it looks like they're kind of freezing on us already. We have a possibility. Very low volume, very dangerous. What you want to see is you want to see everybody piling in. You want to see this number rapidly growing, and it's not. Yeah, Bob, if we have activity, it's definitely going to pop up here. I see it right here on the chart. But we know how Fridays go. In my opinion, Fridays are profit-taking days. Everybody's going back to cash. Nice pop on that one. Good call, Bob. We just need it to continue. We need these numbers rising. That was a good 12-cent jump right there, but nobody expected it. Things like that you can't predict. Looks like they put out an earnings report. I can see it right here. They beat their estimate. But doesn't look like the people were very happy about it for some reason. That's why I don't like predicting the news. You get a good title, but deep down inside there's something wrong, and they don't reveal that in this newsletter. That's why I let the traders decide. The news comes out, we watch the activity, we see how the stock's going to respond. This one made a pop up. Somebody must have read it correctly, and it came right back down. Had this been excellent news, this stock would have taken off to the moon. It'll probably bounce around 2 or 3 times. Somebody else will think it's going up, then it'll come back down. Somebody else will think it's going up. It'll get here, it'll sit here and bounce. If we get enough hopefuls, maybe they'll drive it up. We'll see. Can tell the whole story right here. On Fridays, I'm very cautious, and you should be too. Fridays, a lot of pump and dump people like to come in and make those last minute pennies. And I do mean pennies. That's what things have been moving this week, for pennies, except for Monday. Pretty quiet. Here's a penny stock popper. GNS, a very familiar stock. It's always in the list sometimes, more times than none. Nothing here yet. Another penny stock making some small moves. We knew immediately when this stock took off. The volume is moving. It's not great, but it is moving. They are coming in. We do have a bullish spike in that candle. Looks like the sellers are taking over. You see this long top wick? That's not a good sign. The buyers need to drive this candle past this high. But it looks like the buyers are fading out. We only have 20,000 and barely moving. There we go. Look at that wick. As soon as they try to pop it up, somebody takes it. It's probably profit takers from down here. They got in and they didn't think it was going any higher and they sold. More people came in because they saw it rising. These people down here took profit and drove it back down. Let's see if we can break this high and see the next person take profit. Still watching my numbers over here. Never lose track. We could be looking over here and hoping this one goes up, and all of a sudden we missed a good one over here. I'm not interested in stocks that move 2 pennies. This looks like a great run, but in reality, it's 6 cents. That's good if you have 10,000 shares. But I'm not putting $10,000 into a penny stock. Eton spiking again on the board. We need this volume and this current bar to beat this one. That means more people are coming in. If this doesn't keep increasing higher than this one, the stock is very weak. I'm not saying it won't go up. It just don't have the strength that I would like to see. Continuing to watch over here. We don't want to miss on any of them. Eton's volume did not break that 105 that was over here. It's all about volume. You got to pay attention to volume. Is this current candle more volume than the last candle? Are we getting spikes? Do we have more buyers than sellers? Do we have a volume spike in that current candle? Looks like they quit on us. Last candle bar, only 11,800 shares. When it was going up right here, we were over 100,000 shares. You can see the weakness right here in the volume. So that everyone knows, this pullback strategy is a high volume indicator. It's for scalping. We don't want to see hesitant volume like this. We want to see the people coming in. We want to slip in a strong run and then slip out. In this current market, we have few of them. That's why I don't make a lot of trades. Good example was Monday. They don't have to run that high, but that's a good example of the kind of volume you want to see. You want to see a volume rush. Looks like more people are coming in now. It is pre-market. It's going to be off and on. So if you base this price off of that 8 moving average, you can see it never pulled back and stayed below the 8. Once it breaks below the 8 and starts coming down, that's where you're going to find your pullback. Long as that price is above the 8, it should continue to bounce off of it and continue up. If you're new here, we're watching the 8 moving average and the 21 moving average. We like to see a crossover and a green arrow. And then we like to see the price stay above the 8 moving average and continually get green arrows. That tells us the stock is moving up. It doesn't tell us about the strength. The strength comes up here in the spike in this candle. Over here, you'll see a volume spike taking off. Simple system, but you must watch it over and over again to learn it. We have more buyers than sellers. We do not have a volume spike. And this volume spike is only for this candle, the very active candle. And we don't have a spike over here. Was a 25-cent run from here to there. Not bad. Too choppy for me. I would love to have seen high volume on this stock and see green bars everywhere and not all of these pullback reds. This is kind of what happens when you have low volume. People don't really trust it, so when it gets a pop, they pull in, they take their profit. It gets a pop, they take their profit. Now we're showing weakness. We're broke below the 8. Had you got in, you should have been out right here on this red candle. Yeah, it's going up, but man, I don't like stocks like this. If you're going to go up, go up. Don't just keep pulling back. But you have to understand too, this stock just took off this morning. There may have been some people in the hole back here. So they're getting out on every little pop they can to recover their money. If this was really, really good news, this would have taken off and you would have never saw these little red dots. There would have been so many buyers buying it up. It would have been green on the run. If you have a lot more buyers than sellers, these red candles barely appear. That's why we like high volume. Over here watching this is frozen. Nothing's moving now. Bob did find a hopeful. Bob actually found the only one that did do something. So do you know what that means? That means Bob has been doing his homework. He's been watching stocks. He's been watching the indicators. He's probably sick of the videos. And that's how you need to be. Okay, everybody enjoy the coffee. We're at a stop sign. Waiting for these spikes to take off. This is what we do. We want to see this number flying. So since I was pointing out these volume numbers, I'm sure you can tell by what I was saying. It was high one time, low one time, halted one time, low one time, high one time. It was too volatile. It didn't know which way to go. People were jumping in thinking it was going to go, but it was not solid. I did create a trend indicator last night that I am testing. It's going to be a lower study down here. I guess I could run it while we're doing this and see what happens. This would be it right here. And it's specifically the trend over a longer period of time. You don't need to absorb this information I'm telling you. I'm just letting you know how this is working. So if you can see back here, we were pretty much flat. This is telling me that the trend is starting to rise. So as the trend is rising, the price will be rising. It's not as choppy as the price, but overall, it kind of smooths out what's happening over a period of time and may help us with the trend. So you see it took a dip down right here, but we're still pretty solid up here. So I'll watch this one over the next week or two and see if I can trust when it comes up off the bottom. If it continues to be on an angle, and I can make it bigger so you can really see what it's doing. So if you make it about that size, you can see we popped up off the bottom. We kept coming in. If you threw a line from here to there, to there, to there, you can see it was trending up, even though it was flat here. Maybe it'll keep us in the stock until we see it come back up here and turn down. Good morning, Gregster. So I don't want you to get confused with that thing yet, so I'm going to remove it. You don't need to focus on that one yet. Let me get the testing done. If it proves itself worthy, I'll put it out. Good morning, Chuck. Coach. We're looking at Friday. This is how you spell it. Nothing's happening. We had a hopeful here. It still could go. It was too choppy for most of us. The volume kept fading in and out. If you want to pick up your nickel, there it is. That spells danger. 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 This kept us out of it. This kept us out of it. Buddy, what we're waiting for is we want to see a strong volume spike over here. We want to see a crossover of the 8 crossing above the 21. This would be your entry point. After this crossover, we want to see the buyers coming in. And we want to see a green label up here that there's a big spike in the current candle. Once we get that spike, and for instance right here, I would not have bought this candle. I would have waited on these two moving averages to separate, and since the stock laid flat, I probably still wouldn't have got in. because this stock didn't participate as far as high volume. We didn't get the spikes. We didn't have buyers overwhelming the sellers, and it didn't continue to spike over here. Over time, this will come natural to you. You'll know when it's a good stock. It's not going to act like this. It's just going to take off and it's going to fly. That's the ones we're wanting. So it'll start spiking and the spike will get real big. You'll see green here. You'll see green here. You'll see this crossover and an arrow, and boom, you're in. On these choppy, low volume stocks, it's not going to function like that. This is not the kind of stocks we want to play. We want lots of volume. I like to see over 500,000 and continuing to rise. Not 500,000 on this candle and 200,000 on the next. Over time, you won't even be looking up here. You won't be looking down here. You'll be looking here, and you'll see that green pop in just out of the corner of your eye. It'll be quite obvious when we have a winner. We're in a crappy market right now. There's very few of those. You're probably feeling like you can't nail the entry. And guess what? I can't nail it either in this kind of market. It's not cooperating for buyers. It's a seller's market. For now, we just have to be patient, wait for those stocks that we like to pop in. We had one on Monday. We had a couple penny stocks on Tuesday that performed. Just don't force the entry. Don't force a play. That's where you get into trouble. Wait for the setup to happen. Investing is not an easy thing to do. I may make it look easier, but this is not everything you need to know. Over time, you start to absorb what's happening, and the thought of getting in becomes much clearer. You're not going to learn that in a week. You're not going to learn it because you joined us 2 weeks ago. You're going to learn it over time. I still make mistakes. I just make fewer of them. And if I make a mistake, I immediately get out. I've made quite a few in this down market in the last 6 months. I'm still green because I got out fast when I was wrong. The ones I was right on overwhelmed my losses. So patience is the key. You have to wait for the perfect setup. If you're thinking, oh, should I get in here, or should I get in here, or should I get in here? That stock's jumping around too much. You are trying to think of when to get in. It's not a good play. The reason I started this channel is I was really close. I may be right on it. I don't know until we have the right market. We are pulling out some stocks, not all stocks, but we're pulling out some winners. You just have to wait on them to happen. If you have to think of when you need to get in, that's not the right stock. It will be obvious up here. So if you find yourself staring at a chart and you're trying to find an entry, the first thought that should come to your mind is, I don't think I'm in the right stock if I'm searching for an entry. If this stock was all green and it pulled back red and you caught another green candle and these two moving averages were pointing due north and the spike is going off and the volume's going off, that's an entry. You just have to see it happen. You have to be here when it's happening. I'm sure everybody that saw that stock on Monday was like, what the hell is happening here? Even I was impressed. Tuesday, we had a couple of penny stocks that lined up perfectly. One of them went up 148%. It was the perfect play. We all watched this stock Eton this morning, and I think every one of us thought it wasn't the play because I don't think anybody bought it. It was too choppy. It wasn't the right setup. It looks impressive, kinda. I don't like these big red bars in there. So, buddy, none of us are perfect. We're all looking for an entry. What we have here is something that helps us make up our mind. When it becomes obvious that we have the right stock, you will see how it responds and you will understand. So it's really not a confusion that you can't find the right entry. It's that the market's not cooperating. It's actually dying at 9 o'clock every morning. It's like the tide went out. It's low tide. Nothing's happening. So had this stock been the right play, it would have probably went way up, pulled back a little, and up some more. We chopped our way up, lost it. Chopped our way up, lost it. Not a good play. This is not a good play. These little dots mean it wasn't even trading. The minutes tick by with no volume. That's what those are. Good morning, Parabolic. So you can see we're bearish. We have sellers, but it looks like the stock wants to go up, but it has no volume. When all of these factors line up, we have a winner. I don't like plays like this where a few people come in and a few people sell, and a few people come in and a few people sell. That's not what we're looking for. That's too low a volume. You can see the weakness right here. Couple more people coming in and then the volume will freeze. They do have $1 billion contract. I don't know if it's signed or not. I haven't read it. Maybe that's why this stock is popping up. Right now, we're letting the investors decide that. Is it going to start spiking? Is it going to be interpreted as good news? We don't know. We have to wait and see. Pre-market's a lot harder to play. And because we don't have a good market after open, it's even harder. We're sitting back here watching people waking up. A few of them see a couple of stocks popping up. They test them. This may be good news. This might end up being a good play. I would wait on a pullback. If it pulls back and it runs up, it's a winner. If it don't pull back, it's a risk play. That call is on you. If you just want to jump in and hope, that's on you. I don't play that way. See, the volume is slow, slow, slow. In pre-market, it doesn't take much volume to move a stock. If it wasn't trading and somebody jumps in with 5,000 shares, it's going to move that candle. So this news is good. Now we may see our pullback and another run up. We may not get that pullback. It looks like they like it. We spotted it right here. It popped up. So this would have been a good risk play. I didn't play it, I'll be honest with you. This would have been a good risk play. It popped up over here about this price. I looked down and saw all I have to read is the title. You don't have to go read the whole thing. Look for powerful words in there. Strikes, deal. Keywords. We may get a pullback here. This is our high. This is our low. I'd like to see it pull all the way back down to here, then go retest the high. Problem is, this is pre-market. I don't know if the volume's going to allow that to happen. I'm getting set up here in case it does. Let's see if we bounce right here. Yeah, the spread is high. It's in the 14s, 27, 34. It's becoming a risk play. That's why we have this spread indicator. You can set whatever your spread limit is in settings. I have it set to 9 cents. Watching right here. I'm really not liking this. I like a lot of volume. There's only 16,000 shares traded in the last candle. That could be 3 people buying 5,000 shares. It's not the kind of play I'm going to play. I'm going to back out of it. I'm backing out because this is not what I like. For you risk takers, you might can get $1 right here. You might can get $2. But you're hoping right now that somebody comes and buys something. This is perfect though. This is what you want to see. You want to see it run up, pull back, get a green arrow, buy it, pause right here. If it comes back to the high, pause and see if it breaks it. If it doesn't break through, get out and you profit this area right here. On a high volume stock, this would be the perfect thing what you want to see. You know, you probably caught me. I probably forgot to change it. Edit formula, Mr. Gaspard. Go to 0.0. You know the rules. There we go. If you're new here in pre-market, we right click on yours might say V-Spike. I changed it to Volume Spike. You right click on the name, go to edit formula and change the number to 0.0 in pre-market. When market opens, change it back to 100.0. I wish there was a way that this thing would change when it's pre-market without me having to remember. Hell, I'm getting to that age where I can't remember dinner last night. That's the way to do it, Bob. I probably should do it too. I thought about making another column, but then I thought about, man, that may confuse everybody. So I'm not going to do it on these live streams. They won't know which column to look at. So this is a disaster right here. You could have made some on that excitement, but it did pull back. It wasn't strong enough. Active, you're willing to work on it. Go for it. Fix us up. I mean, I could do it in settings. I know how to do that. If you go to edit studies and click on the gear icon, but I'm trying to avoid having to go do that. But when it comes to custom scripts and the way they function, it becomes a little bit more difficult to have something automatic. I would have to base it on market time. Then if you're East Coast, Mountain Time, West Coast, everybody's going to have to go in and set their time. I probably could do it that way. It might be easier because you only have to go set your time once. You can just copy the code from this one, then click on the gear icon and customize. Up here, type in custom and paste the code and make the second one. Of course, name one pre-market and name the other one market open. And move them beside each other by moving them up or down. Set one of them to 100 and set the pre-market to 0. That'll give you the two columns. But for the purpose of learning, if somebody came in and they're new, they would be so confused. Which one do I watch? Think on these things. If you're a code writer, if you understand code, I don't mind improvements. You may be the one that takes this over the top, and everybody benefits. Right now, it's working very well. We only have a time issue. Is market open or are we in pre-market? You can see those red arrows on low volume came in, said get out, get out, get out, get out. We spotted it about right here, but it wasn't my kind of play because the volume did not line up, and this is what happens. But this was a lot of money. This is a couple of dollars. Those risk players could have made it. When I was writing this script, I was getting lost in my own coding. It became, when I first started, it got more difficult the more I added to it. And I would change the code, and the numbers would change, but they wouldn't be accurate. Then I'd make the accuracy correct, but then they wouldn't spike when they were supposed to. It was very difficult. The day I landed on the magic code, actually, I think I impressed myself because it was an accidental find. I call it blessings. Blessings from above. But since this side was born, many other things were born. This was born, the spike up here was born, these arrows were born. I took it to the limit. That's a long time ago, Mr. Peterson. That brings me back to the 5-inch floppy disk. So everybody new here, we're waiting on volume spikes. We don't have any yet this morning. We had a few on low volume. The risk players could make some money here. I didn't take the play. It didn't have enough volume to satisfy me throwing money at it. So I lost this $2. Somebody else might have made it. Steffing it better. I'm throwing data out there now at over a gig. It was on the awful Xfinity stream at about 300. Now it's feeding out there more than a gig. I think I'm a gig 24, a gig 1240, somewhere around there is what I tested it. Running straight fiber now, no copper. Fiber from the pole to the PC. That's what I like. Yeah, I was watching the replays on the streams, and I would notice it was missing some of the beginning of my sentences or the end of my sentence. I guess that's when the internet was choppy and fading out. I was running at less than 50% yesterday. Didn't even think I was going to get to continue with the stream. For you newcomers here, pay attention. We're going to walk through what we have here. I am Ricky Gaspard. I am the developer coder for the volume spike indicator. What it does is it measures volume. These numbers, when we have an increase in volume, will grow. Hopefully for us, they grow rapidly, 1%, 2%, 5%, 6%. When you see this volume take off, you look over here, and I have created the pullback indicator. It consists of the 8 moving average and the 21 moving average. We want to see a crossover of these two averages. We want to see a green volume spike indicator pop up here. This spike indicator is only measuring the current volume in the current candle. Once this triggers, you'll see this candle grow and grow and grow. So we wait on this crossover. We wait on these green here, and you'll see a green come in down here. There it is, 100% buyers. All of this usually happens together as this green arrow's popping in. So you get a spike here, a crossover, a green box pops up here in the corner of your eye, green here, a green arrow pops in, and then you make your decision to get in. As long as the price is above this 8 moving average, it may continue to rise. Along the way, at any time you're in profit, I say take the profit if you are having doubts. Don't wait on a red arrow like this. Here's a good example. If you're in this stock and it went up here and you saw this, get out here. Don't wait on a red arrow down. This is kind of it's a good warning. Hey, you're late getting out. Here's your warning. Get out. Over time, this all becomes natural to you. You see a spike, you look over here, you're concentrating on this crossover that may happen over here. Out of the corner of your eye, it will become obvious. There's a green bar up here and there's a green bar down here. You won't even be looking at these. They'll just be off in the distance, but you'll see them. And you'll see the stock take off. We like to see very high volume. Lots of buyers coming in. If you watch all of the YouTube videos, some of them are older, but they all contain valuable information. Watch them until you're tired of watching them. I'm going to preach this forever. When you're sick and tired and you say, all right, I'm done with those videos, I've had enough, I know what's going on, that's when you start learning. So, to put it briefly, volume spike, crossover, green arrow. Really like to see these moving averages turn due north, and they'll do that when it's strong enough. They'll be like right up here like this. They'll be chasing that stock price. That's what we want to see. If you see a separation between these two lines, that means the stock is getting stronger. It was close down here, close, started spreading. Price started going up, got a little weak, so they got a little closer together. Started separating, and we jumped up again. Started rolling over, and we should have been out in this area. All of this will come natural to you. It happens over and over and over in a good market. We are in a lousy market looking for needles in a haystack. Bob, I do not. I don't use anything anymore but this. Ever since I put out V4, I think the other things they're good indicators. Yes, they do work, but I don't think I need them. I've been doing pretty good with just this. So I got rid of the distractions. They may still work for some of you. I was using even the market forecast and the line indicator. I got rid of both of them. Now I'm just waiting for crossovers. Green arrow. High volume. So this $1 billion deal wasn't so hot, was it? Is it over? Probably not. Not everybody plays pre-market. This is one to put in your personal watch list. At market open, new people will see this news. You might can pick up $1 or $2. Always check the red ones and the green ones. It could just be a slight pullback. Could be your next play. So back to, we are looking for this crossover. If you haven't noticed, in Discord, I created a scan that says the 8 moving average is crossing above the 21, and it looks for all of the stocks where this is happening, and it will put them in your scan. It's a good scan to monitor. It doesn't find very many stocks, but when we have a crossover, it's going to find them. No activity. So this is the pre-market scan. It's a special scan. There's a video on it. Well, if you don't have a pre-market scan, go load it. Look for the video that tells you how to put this V-spike in your watch list. Me, I don't put these spikes in the personal watch list that's over here on the left on yours. I click the Market Watch tab and I convert that watch list with this spike so that I can just click the Market Watch tab, and then you go here and you can pull up all of your scans in one watch list. Bob, the only thing I could do was make the background turn green, but then I didn't really like it, so I just left it at the percentages turning green and red. Waiting for volume spikes in a dead market. It's like fishing on low tide. Once you create this pre-market scan, you sort your volume spike. Just by clicking on the name, you bring all of the stocks to the top, all of the spikes to the top. You don't have to monitor the rest of the stocks. You only need to display 50. Just because you're displaying 50 doesn't mean you're limiting yourself to 50 stocks. It's still looking through the entire scan past the display. So if there's 500 or 1,000 or 10,000 stocks in pre-market, it's watching all of them. That display only means you're showing the amount you select. This V-spike is still searching the entire scan. If you try to load too many stocks, you could get a script error. It says expression. That means you're trying to pull too much data out of too many stocks when you really don't need to. Watching for these numbers to move. There's one slightly moving. We do not have a green arrow. We do have the crossover. I can see the buyers wanting to come in. We do not have a spike in the current candle. I'm looking for a setup. We do not have enough volume. This is what happens when you don't have enough volume. You don't have enough buyers coming in. I used to be that guy. It's going up. Click, I'm in. Oh man, I messed up. I'm out. I used to do that, just like you. Glad I could help you, Robert. I always have an answer. But I only have that answer if it's something I created. So if you set up your market watch per the video, and you have all of those indicators spread across the board, and you're not using all of them, just take them out. Because really all you need is this, and this, this, and this. The reason that watch list was so huge with all those indicators was because it was requested by subscribers. Some subscribers use it, some of us don't. As per our discussion yesterday, I could get by with just this V spike and the symbol and the price. I'm just looking here and here. I don't need all of this. Once you become familiar with it, you're going to find out I'm correct. Good morning, Wyatt. Don't know if I told you, but I said it again. Watching for volume spikes while we drink our coffee. That's what we're doing. We almost had one here. We're still not getting the green arrows. We still don't have massive volume coming in. We don't have the spike. It's just limping its way around. Watching this one here moving. I wouldn't be interested just because it's been selling off and selling off. The moving averages are in the wrong position. These are the people that's saying it's at a bottom, let's buy it. And they would be wrong. Watching for spikes, watching for spikes. I don't know why we're doing this on a Friday. I know how today's going to go. We may have a few hopefuls. Every time something pops up, somebody's going to sell it. And about 9 o'clock, we're going to go flat. So if you're the guy that sits there all day long, you deserve a trophy. I can't do it. I do notice one or two during the day will pop up and they make money. I don't feel like I missed out. Yes, it is. It's all the same everywhere you find it. This is always the same. It's applied to different strategies, different. You'll find it as I was developing it. But I've went back and made all of them the same as this one. Everything is updated, no matter where you find it. You can name it what you want. I had people saying, what's a V-spike? So I just spelled it out, volume spike. Good morning, Lawrence. Thank everybody for joining us. About every 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I'll walk through the setup. I know it gets boring. I've heard that before, but there's people that haven't. So I'll keep announcing it. I'll keep saying, go watch the videos. Even every now and then, I'll go watch my own video. Keeps the mind fresh. I sit in the recliner every night. I have a laptop by my recliner and I play on demand. I'm always practicing. It's called dedication. You need to be dedicated. If you're not dedicated, you're never going to be able to sit here and make money. You're going to have to go to work. Good morning, Alpo. Thank you for joining us. It's Friday, not much happening. We're watching for spikes. We want to see these numbers growing. We want to see a crossover of these two moving averages. We want to see a flash of green and a flash of green. We want to see a green arrow pop in. We're not seeing that this morning because we have no spikes. That's why I do it. I want everybody to learn this. I want to show them how powerful this is if they will just pay attention. Go watch the videos. It doesn't look so promising right now, but it's because we are in a downward market. But I assure you, I have put a pot of gold at your feet. When we have good market days, this thing's going to fly. When we change over to a bull market, it's going to be like picking anything you want. Everybody is struggling in this market except for those who short the market. And from what I hear, they are also struggling because things are so far down. I don't mind things being so far down because we get to buy them cheaper. We just need the market to turn around. Just because you trust this system doesn't mean it's going to work. It doesn't work for me 100% of the time. It's not going to work for the best investor 100% of the time. Nothing is 100% of the time. But I have increased the odds dramatically. We just need the right market. I know there's some of you are new here, and some of you may have been here a week or two, and you're thinking, well, this is not working. Well, I think you're wrong. Keep watching the videos. Wait till the market turns around, or at least we have a good market day. You'll see what I mean. I don't know why we're searching for stocks on a Friday. I'm here for you. I want to train you. We may not get a play today. I don't really care. I'm more interested in you learning. It could get boring here, but if you listen to the things and watch what's happening, you will also realize, hey, this guy's on to something. Nobody's searching like this. I used to have to search for stocks. Now they're coming to me. Thinkorswim is doing all of my dirty work. You're going to realize that real soon. Yes, we did, Alpo. We had a good Monday as well. I made exactly 2 trades this week. I was lucky enough to buy 2,000 shares of Monday's stock. Tuesday, I bought a little and made $300. I am way up. I did not need to trade the rest of the week. Of course, there wasn't nothing to trade. I don't care if it only happens once a month, but I would love to see one stock a month like last Monday. It doesn't happen that often. This thing fired up when that stock was at $3.75, and every one of us watched it go to 60. Had you not been here looking at this, you would have not even known that happened. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. The pleasure's all mine. I want you to learn. I hope I'm becoming a hypnosis. I hope this is planting in your head. Watching for spikes on Boring Friday. We all know about Fridays. They haven't been good. But the good part is, if something happens, I don't have to go try to find it. The only reason I would get fear of missing out is if I didn't click the button. The opportunity was presented before me. Once the opportunity is presented before me, if I don't click the button, it's on me. Looking like we might get a crossover here, but we have very low volume. But I'm watching it. I'm watching for that activity. I want to see green. I want to see green. I want to see this volume start flying. I want a green arrow. I want to see that stock pop back up over here and get a spike, and it grows and it grows. We're not getting that this morning. Stephan, you are right. Patience is the key. Don't try to make a play. You can't make one. You have to let the play happen. Then go participate in the play. Don't buy hopefuls. It does, Lawrence. Problem is, the market's so far down, how far is the bearish spike going to even go? So if I was a short player, I would be using the gap down and run scan. We had the gap up and run scan when the market turns on. I reversed it for all of you short sellers. It's over in Discord. It says gap down. And it is blood red. It's a shareable link. You just have to do the shared items thing. Very easy to install. I'm creating scripts for everybody, up or down, it doesn't matter. I don't have to manipulate this for up or down. It's going to do it on its own. This one would be going down. Of course, it don't have volume. Nothing yet. We had $1 billion deal. was a very high risk play. You could have made $1 or $2. I didn't. I will always be honest. Good deal, Lawrence. Everything is important. You get to participate with all of the other traders. Everybody helps everybody. I even have some very nice subscribers helping me with support, and I really appreciate that. But we could eliminate a lot of support questions if I could get everybody to watch the videos. They'll watch and see, oh, I like that indicator, copy the script, and they will go install it in the wrong area. Then they'll send me a support question. This is not working. What am I doing wrong? And I go ahead and help them at that point. I could say go watch the video, but I'm not that guy. But go watch the videos. Watching for spikes. That's what we do here. Well, we're doing it on the wrong day. This is Friday. I call it sell-off day. Everybody's taking profits. I don't know what profits they're taking. We couldn't find anything. So it really shouldn't be sell-off Friday. But it is. It's known for that. It's going to perform the same way as it does for the green ones. You will see red pop up, and the red number will also grow as the stock is falling. It's just the reverse. Instead of playing the green ones, you're going to play the red ones. No changes are needed. This here, it's just counting volume, positive or negative. There's no changes needed. It's doing all the work. The reason why you don't see very many red ones in pre-market is because people are waking up. There's not a lot of volume in pre-market. There's only a lot of volume on the stocks that put out good news. We don't have to read the news. We just need to look for keywords in the title. Then we need to watch and see how the other investors react to that news. And it will be reflected right here first. And then it'll carry on over to the chart with the crossover, the spikes, the volumes increasing, the buyers outnumber the sellers, and the green arrow pops in. So if you're shorting, you're going to be watching this red candle. You're going to be watching for the crossover in reverse. You're going to be looking for this red arrow. You're just going to play everything in opposite. You're going to be looking for red here. You're going to be looking for red here. Just reverse everything, and you are now a shorter. Well, it's 7:30. Our 7 o'clock hour passed 30 minutes ago. Nothing popped up. We are watching the entire pre-market right here. These are the only stocks that are moving, and they're not moving in our direction. This is a very amazing tool. If something is happening, you will know. There's a penny stock. I noticed the ticking right there. I don't play penny stocks, but you might. I don't like them. I don't like playing for pennies at a time. You just have to focus right here. This is step one. We had a crossover and a green arrow. We have a bullish spike. We have buyers. We do not have enough volume. People buy large amounts of penny stocks. 5,000, 10,000. If you look at this last candle, if 4 people bought 10,000, that would be all of the volume. But it's going. They're moving it because it wasn't trading before they decided to buy 40,000 shares. Is this a good play? I wouldn't buy it. But penny stock players like that. That's why I don't buy them. Did you see how fast that stock lost? So put $10,000 in here, and it goes to here, and all of a sudden you see pop. That spells disaster to me. Continuing to watch the numbers. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please subscribe. I'm giving everything away. That's how you can support me. Subscribe, like the videos, click the bell icon for when I put a new one out. You are immediately notified. You're never going to be charged. It's a free education. If you have issues, go to support in Discord. Let me know. Watch the videos over and over. Before you know it, you'll be telling the next new guy, go watch the videos. or you got to see this video, or you got to see these live streams. They're very educational. It's all about you. It's not about me. It's not about what I own. It's not about my money. It's about you. I want you to be successful. I'm teaching you what I know for free. I put my brain into these indicators. What I used to do manually is now being done automatically. This is what I used to look for, but I didn't have this column. I had to base it on the height of a candle. Hey, the candles are getting longer. They're getting longer. I manually had these moving averages in there, but they weren't giving me the correct information. I would get in here, they would look good, and they would roll over and the stock would pull back. I pretty much eliminated that. If you watch all of the indicators fire and you have high volume and it continues to spike, your entry is much safer. We're not seeing that in pre-market this morning. It's Friday. On good market days, it will happen. In a bull market, it'll happen every day. Good morning, Jimmy. Glad you could make it. Everyone meet Jimmy. He is part of my construction team and does all of my electrical work. He knows what's going on here. He's been using it for a while, but he just now upgraded to version 4. And yesterday sent me a message saying this looks like it's working a lot better. And I said, yes, it is. So this morning we're watching for volume spikes. To all of you newcomers, we're watching volume spikes. We're waiting for this number to grow. We're waiting for this crossover to happen. We are waiting for that bullish signal to show up here. We're waiting for the buyers to outnumber the sellers. And we're waiting for that green arrow to pop in after this crossover. When that happens, the stock shoots up. This one was kind of dangerous because we didn't have the volume to back it up. We didn't have the spike to back it up. But that's how the system works. We are in sell-off Friday. We're not seeing much activity this morning. Enjoy your coffee. Give your eyes a break for a minute. Watching for volume spikes. That's all we do. This is the key. There's one moving right here. Let's see where it goes. We're waiting for a crossover. We got green here. We have green here. We need an arrow to pop in. Looks like the spike is stopped. I'm watching over here. If you look down here, we have the news is trading higher after the company reported second quarter earnings. Let's see how the investors interpret that quarterly report. If it's bad, you will know it will sell off. If it's good, it will rise. I'm not seeing a bunch of people coming in. The volume is pretty much just barely ticking. We don't have to read the news. We just look for keywords. If it's good, it's going to reflect on the chart. There's another one moving. It's a penny stock. I don't buy penny stocks, but you might. Looks like it's made several attempts. I would avoid that one. Good morning, Super. Glad you could make it. Tamimi, I just saw you. Good morning. And good morning to everybody I missed. Another penny stock on the move. We don't have the crossover yet. We don't have the green arrow. We don't have a spike. Tamimi has been with us for quite some time. I think she was in here probably when we were less than 100 subscribers. She's one of the early ones. She watched the channel grow. She studied the videos. She watched them until she was sick of them. Or he. Are you a female or male? I don't know by the name. Well, maybe Tamimi's not listening to me. All right. Sorry about that. So Tamimi is a he and has been with us for a long time. Yep. You are a blessing to us. Watching these spikes, I'm not paying attention. I'm looking down at chat and look what I missed. We had a crossover and an arrow and the stock shot up. You should be watching your computers and listening to me in the background if you already know this. You should have caught this stock. I was looking at the chat. You have to stay focused right here. Sometimes I need to teach myself that. That's a 40-cent, 50-cent play right there. Might not have got all of the 40 or 50 cents, but you could have got 30 of it or 25. And at 1,000 shares, that's $250. Thank you, Tamimi. This is what we like to see. Very nice play for those who weren't looking at the chat. You see the green spike here. It's getting weak though. You see the sellers are coming in. We're getting tall candle wicks. These wicks are, this candle was green. This wick at the top are the sellers driving it back down. So we're struggling in this area. Seller's label is fired up. We don't have the spike up here anymore. If you're not in this stock, you should be looking over here, watching volume spikes. Don't be like me. Don't be watching the chat and miss a play. Bill, I haven't experienced that, but I will look into it. I think I've changed from 1 minute to 5 minute. We still had the green candle. You're not going to get as many because there's 5 1-minute bars in this candle. But this one fired up correctly. Maybe it just didn't have a strong enough volume spike to fire that arrow. That's usually the case. So you may get a green arrow in 1 minute, but on 5 minute, it may be not enough volume to trigger that arrow. But it should. I agree with you. This would have been the perfect 5-minute chart play. But I was looking at the chat. If I don't quit saying that, I'm going to hate myself. Watching volume spikes. You're welcome, Bill. If it becomes an issue, definitely let me know. I haven't noticed that. For all of the newcomers, I am Ricky Gaspard, and this is the volume spike indicator that I created. It looks for volume spikes. I have videos on YouTube. Watch all of the videos. Load this setup. Every day we watch for volume spikes. When we see one taking off, we click on it. Over here, I created the pullback indicator. This is the 8 moving average and the 21 moving average. When this number spikes and you look over here, you should see a crossover of these moving averages. You should see a spike indicator pop up green right here or wherever it is. You should see the buyers outnumbering the sellers down here. A green arrow will pop in, and 99% of the time that stock's going to shoot up because everything lined up. This is what we do every morning. We watch for volume spikes, we watch for crossovers, we watch for green spike. This green spike measures only the first candle. So if this candle spikes with high volume, it's going to show up right here. You put all of this together and you have a profitable system. I have fine-tuned it and fine-tuned it. Jimmy knows. He started back on version 1, even before version 2. We are now at version 4. It has been finely tuned. I'm watching for volume spikes. We have the crossover. We don't have the volume. We don't have the spike indicator. The spread is high. There's some negativity in this one. Could it go up? Of course it could. It's the stock market. But chances are it won't. That's why we have these tools. We are scalpers. Scalpers don't buy low volume stocks. It's not worth the risk. We want to see this number take off like a rocket. We want to see these turn into buyers. We want to see high percentages in that current candle. When all of those things happen, you are in the money. It's trying, but it's still low volume. Some people are coming in. I see it ticking away. Me personally, I would just consider that I missed it. I probably wouldn't have bought it in this area because it did have a high spread back then even. If you look back, it's very important to look back. This stock barely traded all day yesterday. Why is it spiking this morning? AIXI. This is probably it right here. I'm really not seeing any keywords in here that excite me. Something about an exhibition in Las Vegas. But it's Friday. Risk takers play these things. I don't. Citizen, it is chart selective. So if you're on the 1 minute chart, it's going to show the 1, the 5, and the 15. If you're on the 5 minute chart, it's only going to show the 5 and the 15. If you're on the 15 minute chart, it's only going to show the 15. We are watching for volume spikes. We are close to that 8 o'clock hour, 1 minute away. Maybe something will launch. Maybe news will come out for somebody at 8 o'clock. News happens at the top of the hour, sometimes in pre-market. "30 seconds to go before the 8 o'clock hour. Let's see if we can get a play here. Watching these numbers, we want to see what's happening. We're looking for these numbers to be growing. We want to see them grow fast, not tick along like this one. We want to see 1%, 2%, 3%. Those are the ones that are running. We're 30 seconds past the hour. I'm not seeing anything exciting. They haven't had time to read the news yet if something came out, so keep an eye over here. So steady and still. Not seeing anything that's impressing me. It is sell-off Friday, profit-taking day, back to cash before the weekend. Hopefully a couple of stocks will take off. Some of us will make a few dollars, some of us won't. Some of us will be looking at the chat and not paying attention. You are welcome, citizen. So if you're new here, I'm Ricky Gaspard, and I stream every weekday morning from 6 a.m. till 9:30. Once it hits 9:30, I end a stream, and I go enjoy my day. I don't sit here all day long hoping something pops up. You may be different. You may be willing to sit here all day long. You may find something that I missed. It's okay. I don't like being bored, and I don't like staring at numbers for 8 hours a day. I'm not seeing anything impressive up here. Thank you, Mr. Peterson. They will get it. They will understand. What I put out here is very important. You may be a failure at first, but once you get it, you'll be very thankful just like everybody else. If it's not showing this and you are on 1 minute, then you probably installed it wrong. That is, I believe, a shared item. You would click on the link, copy the URL at the top of the page, go over to your Thinkorswim, and at the top right corner, click Setup, open Shared Item, hit Control V to paste the code, click Preview and Import, and it should appear on your chart. I don't use it. I don't find any value in it whatsoever other than the candles are green on 3 charts. But I only care about the candles are green on the current chart that I'm looking at, so I don't use it. The less clutter on my screen, the better off I am. What? Bob, I don't understand your question. Are you talking about the chart time frame? Or are you talking about all of my monitors? I'm watching the 133 tick chart on one monitor. I'm watching this 1 minute that's being streamed, and I have the 5 minute on my other chart, my other monitor. Bob Smith, if you don't have your price range and your volume exactly like I am, then you're not going to show the same stocks. In my pre-market scan, I have selected, let me get it pulled up here. I have 0.25 on the mark for my minimum price, no maximum. My volume is at a minimum of 20,000 shares. My after hours percent is at 2% on 1 minute. There's nothing happening, so I'll drag my screen up there so you can see it to make sure that you are exactly the same as this. That's my pre-market scan. Yours should do the same. You can replay this video later if you missed it. Then I am sorted by volume spikes. You can just click the name right here to sort it. You can right click on the name and change it to 0.0 for pre-market. After market opens, we're going to make some changes to our watch list and to this number. You stay tuned, you'll see me do that about 8:25 Central Time. Bob Smith, you know, the refresh rate is every 5 minutes. If I refresh before you or you before I, then we may not show the same thing. If we all refresh together, we would all have the same thing. Thank you, Kenneth. Dead Friday, that's what I call it. Nothing to be excited about. I am in South Texas, Southeast Texas. I'm on Central Time Frame. If you are already using these indicators and you are trading, make sure that you trade off of your screen and not mine. Mine could be delayed as much as 15 to 30 seconds. I haven't checked the delay with this new internet service I brought in yesterday, but it may be improved. If you are new here, please subscribe to our channel. Everything is free. I will never charge you. I am Ricky Gaspard. I coded these scripts that you are seeing on the screen. This one is the volume spike indicator. We are watching for volume spikes. We do this all day long. Once we see a volume spike, we click on that stock. On this side, I created the pullback indicator. It's version 4. We wait for a crossover of the moving averages. We wait for this bullish indicator to pop up. This bullish indicator is measuring the volume in this current candle. We wait for the buyers to come in. They just left. Now they're sellers. When all of these factors come into play, hopefully we're down here and we hop on for the ride. Bob Smith, you are correct. Sometimes that's why I like trading the 5-minute chart. I absolutely favor the 5-minute over every chart. The only reason I watch the 133 tick chart is for my entry and exit. For me, the tick chart, and I will put that video out on the tick chart this coming weekend so everybody can get set up. I went back in modified version 2 so that it works with the tick chart. I've also enhanced it a little bit this week. I put the moving averages on it so that they will show up on the tick chart. Looks like it's getting even quieter. We are after the 8 o'clock hour. People will take profits before the market opens in fear of losing them at market open. So we go pretty silent just a few minutes before. About 8:25, I'm going to change the setup slightly. I'm only going to change the watch list because pre-market will shut off. And this scan does shut off if you experience that. It's not broken. About 8:35, it'll go black. It only works in pre-market. And it works in after hours. If you did not know that, I do not trade after hours. It'll turn back on when the market closes. We are looking for volume spikes in these numbers. Bob Smith, there's quite a few people that trade on 2-minute. Takes out some of the noise, makes life a little easier. It's not going to affect the indicators. It's going to work the same. Choose what chart works for you. The 5-minute works for me. The 2-minute works for Bob. I believe Jimmy's using the 2-minute. Since it's quiet, I'm going to go refill my coffee cup and I shall return in a couple of minutes. And then we'll set up for market open. Okay, I am back. Hope you guys were watching the spike indicator while I was gone, or filling up your coffee cup, which might be more important on a Friday. Got a few minutes to go here before I change everything. All right, nothing's happening. Let's make the switch. I'm going to first change my volume spike to 100. Click apply and OK. I'm going to change this scan to the all stock scan. And we were sorting by volume, but this morning I'm going to sort by mark percent change. It's going to scatter your spikes, but these will be the top gainers when the market opens. You will be watching for spikes on these top gainers. On this bottom scan, we have a scan called Gap and Run. This scan will not have stocks in it until a couple of minutes after market open. You can find this scan on Discord and on YouTube. It's going to look for all of the stocks that opened higher than yesterday's close. It's also going to see if they have enough volume to continue running up for the remainder of the morning or day. It's a very powerful scan. It does have some lower volume, so they're not as volatile as what you're going to see up here. You just have to have patience. It's not really for scalping. You can scalp it, but you're going to notice the stocks are a slow crawl for a few hours. If you are a swing trader, this is perfect for you. And that's pretty much the setup. It was an easy switch. Adjust your volume spike, put in the all stock scan, sort by mark percent change, highest to lowest. And if you can, run the Gap and Run scan. So when market opens, this is going to become very volatile. You won't know heads from tails. I don't. You have to let the market calm down. The strong survivors will remain after 5 or 10 minutes. I doubt it happens today. It's Friday. But we're monitoring today's highest gainers. They will continue to be highest to lowest. We're looking for spikes on these percent gainers. Then you look over at the chart and make your decision to buy. Be very careful. That first candle can be costly. It may shoot up and you get in and everybody sells. That happens more times than a stock continuing to go up. I hardly ever buy the first candle, and I'm talking a 5-minute candle. It'll sometimes go up for 5 minutes. We'll actually switch over to 5 minutes. You'll see a big old candle like this, and the next thing you know, a bigger red one comes in, and it even goes below the open. I stay away from that first candle. I'm watching for a pullback, a slight pullback. Hopefully not more than 50% of this green candle, a slight pullback, a turnaround and a run up. I'm watching for that turnaround. I'm watching for that green arrow on that turnaround. When the market opens, if there's one that I'm interested in, I will put a line on the high like so. Once it comes back down, I'll put another line where it dropped. If it continues to turn around and go up, I will try to get in at this low point. I don't have much faith in today. I don't know that that's going to happen. If it does, hopefully you'll see how to play it. Good morning, Harleys. We have about 2 minutes to go. If you're learning, don't just jump in because the green candles are here. Go watch the videos, watch them all week long. As I like to say, watch them till you're sick of watching them. We're going to be watching this column. We're going to be looking for spikes. They'll be popping up. These are the hopefuls that are showing up right now. I'm not seeing the numbers moving. They're just people getting in thinking this is the one. I just leave mine on mark because mark works in pre-market and the regular price doesn't. So I just leave all of mine on mark all the time. And we have 30 seconds to go. Ten seconds to go. We're going to be watching for spikes. Which ones are going to be moving? I will, Mr. Rodriguez. There's one of them tall green candles. Notice we don't have an arrow. It's probably going to pull back. Keep an eye on this list while we watch that one. Nice rise. Too risky for me. I'm going to go to the 1 minute because that's what I like to do on market open. I like to watch for that pullback, and you're not going to see it as good on a 5-minute chart. We may be pulling back here. This was the high. That may be the low. I'll mark it if it is. I'd like to see it pull back a little more. Looks like it may just take off. I'm not going to get my pullback. So that was the low right there. Still going to try for that low, but it's probably going to turn around and retest this high if this stock is strong. So we're looking at about $5.50 to $16. That's a 50-cent run, and this is what I'm talking about. You never know what's going to happen. I'm not seeing anything over here yet. This one could turn around. This is Friday. I'm not expecting it to. It's not really cooperating. Normally, it's a nice, smooth transition. Still selling off. This is why I say don't buy this candle. If you would have bought it right here and it went up, you're in the hole right now. It's holding this level. It's dropping below it, but it comes right back up to it. There we go. There's that green arrow. It's probably going to go retest the top. It's not the smoothest one. Really don't think it's going to make it, but it might, and it didn't. Still trying. I got in right about here, so I was red for a minute. If it starts dropping, I'm just going to get out. I'm out. I'm not going to chance it. $12 profit. What an awful Friday. But I'm not red. This is my favorite play. It's a pullback indicator. In a good market, it happens all the time. And as I always say, wait for me to get out and buy. That's what happens every time I do. This pop was so quick, though, probably couldn't have caught that top. It was up and down, up and down. It'll probably make it, though. I'm not in it anymore. There it is. It's right up there at it. This happens very often. You do it exactly like I did. You mark that high at market open. You mark that low. You wait for the price to return back down to it. You make your entry in this area as long as it doesn't drop below this line. And you wait for that stock to shoot, and then you get out. It gave me false information here. I got out, and it shot up as normal. Don't be like me. Look at it go. I would say this play has about an 80% rating when this occurs. It may be higher than that. I've never really tested it because I don't do that many trades. But it pretty much works almost every time. Avoid the first candle. Mark the high. Mark the pullback. Wait for the play to set up. You see the green arrow came in. That's where I bought. But then it went red, so I got out. Then we got another green arrow and it shot. So I was right, but I was wrong for getting out. I should have held on unless it dropped below this line, then get out. It's a very simple play. This is a pullback indicator. It's finding, it's monitoring right here for you. Your only job is to put the mark on the high and the pullback. I normally don't even trade on Fridays. I hate trading on Fridays. And this is why. It's so volatile. I mean, I even said it was not a smooth transition before it even happened, by the way it was jumping up and down. I do not like Fridays. But look over here in the spike list. It's naked. There's nothing there. This was the only play, and we found it. It came to us. So back to this stock. This could be a support level. It could stop right here, and it could bounce right back up here to that one. This is what this indicator does. It looks for pullbacks. It may give us another green arrow, and we may bounce right back up to this line for another 30 or 40 cents. Well, it's not a turkey. I got $12. I'm fine. Probably could have been more like 300. But I got out too soon. Even I make mistakes. Good job, Super. You're correct. It just now showed one, though. It has to pull below that 8 moving average before this red arrow pops in. I set it up that way to keep us from getting out too early if this stock were just to turn around and run back up. If I would have triggered it on every red candle that we saw, you may lose lots of money because it may just turn right around and run back up. I noticed if I let it drop down below the 8, that's when the red arrow should post. That allows you a little bit of playroom here so you don't get out too soon in case it runs right back up. That's a double red. That's a negative. That's a good one. It's coming down. This support line's probably going to be resistance now. It's probably going to bump off the bottom of it and come on down to this one. This is Friday. That's what I would expect to happen. If we only had a good market, you would have probably seen 5 or 6 of these plays in the morning, 5 or 6 around 9 o'clock, 3 or 4 around 10:30 in a good market. You can really be profitable if we could only get this to turn around. We have one stock in gap and run. This is what they do. They pull back at market and they slowly rise all day long. This one's quite expensive. You can see the volume is low. But that's how this scan works. It watches for creepers. So this was yesterday's close. It probably opened somewhere in this area, but then lost it. Then the volume part of this scan kicked in and said, hey, it's going to slowly climb, and it did. And it's going to probably climb for a while. No guarantees, it's a stock market, but that's what it's doing. We are flat. Even the top gainers are not moving. Sell off Friday. I'm not getting in. A lot of people agree with me. A lot of people don't trade Fridays. You notice we had the crossover. You did not get a green arrow. It didn't fake you out. It pulled back. It gave you the green arrow, and we go. This is a powerful indicator. It knows what it's doing. You can't do in your head what this indicator is doing. There's a lot of math behind it. RGTI. Market open. We had a red candle. It got green. The crossover was back here in pre-market. It started firing green arrows. It didn't pull you out because this price did not drop below the 8. It gave you another green arrow. It continues to go. A bigger red candle here. It did not drop below the 8. It continues to rise. This is what this indicator does. It is very good at what it does. We are first notified about something's fixing to happen here, over here in the spike column. You don't have a lot of work to do. You just need to learn what I've done. Once you realize what I've done, you can be profitable. This is not something crossing over something back here, hoping it's going to repeat. This is as it happens. You can't get any better than that. So I think from now on, I was sorting by highest volume. Well, it still works kind of that way. I think it may be more beneficial to sort by market percent change before market opens. That way we're watching the highest gainers and not the highest volume. See, I'm being honest. I'm still learning too. The system's only like 3 months old. It's like watching the same movie twice. You see things you didn't see the first time you watched it. That is absolutely beautiful. This is what we dream of. It's not a whole lot of money. It's about 20 cents, 25 cents. But on a higher price stock, this could be $2, $3, $5. That's why I like buying stocks around the $3 to $30 range. We are not missing out. We're watching everything here. That one's moving. This would not be a good play. It was a late starter. We had to cross over here, a green arrow. It may continue to run if you are a risk taker. I'm not. But according to the math, this is what happens. Everything is about numbers. Volume numbers, calculation numbers. Even these moving averages work off of numbers. This works off of numbers. It's all about the numbers. It's not about this repeating what it did in the past. It's about here and now. That's why we have the volume spike indicator. Those that moved this morning were presented before us right here. There was opportunity to make money, but only one of them was the right setup for me. That's the one that did the pullback. And I got out too soon. Some of you may not have. The rest of them were risk plays, didn't wait on the pullback. Let's look down here and see if these continue to go. That one doesn't look too bad. It does have a red arrow. That one looks good. These are the slow crawlers. This is the highest percent change stock this morning. It may continue to crawl. For the risk players, as long as you're above the 8 moving average, if you would have got in here or here, your risk is a lot safer because it's not dropping. It's continuing to post the green arrows. We did have a small pullback right here. I hope this is coming clear to you. We just witnessed everything that went up on a Friday. If you didn't have this set up, you would have never known. You could have sorted by your mark percent change, but you would have had to keep clicking on every one of them to see which one was moving. We based it on volume spikes and green labels and the price moving and the arrows here and the crossover. You can't watch all of them. You're not going to win all of them, but you can get some of them. You have a better chance. Nothing spiking, slowly creeping up. This is the most highest percent change for today. Everybody's trickling in. You can see the volume, how nice it is. That's the kind of volume I like to see. This is what I'm talking about when I say get in when everybody's buying. There's that bullish candle spike. There's the buyers outnumbering the sellers. All of the math is being done for you right here. You don't have to think anymore. Looks like this stock has set triple highs. This was one, that was one, this is one. Look at that volume tick away. We don't have a spike. Now we do. It's bullish again. There's that bullish candle going up. There's your buyers outnumbering the sellers. It's a show of strength. See it rise. It's not a fake out. It knows what it's doing. Another new high. That's 4 new highs. Still going. Volume spike has disappeared. This is where you're careful. You want to see another green arrow pop in here. If you got in down here, I would be out, but I would probably be wrong and you would profit more. But I would have gotten my little piece. Nice cheaper stock. It's about a 40-cent run from the time it fired here from the pullback. See, that's about, let's just say you got in here somewhere around 210. So 210 to 249, about 40-cent gain. So once you're not watching me and you know what's going on, you won't miss plays like this. You will be watching your own computer for these spikes. Soon as you catch on, start concentrating on what you're doing, watching how things work. This is why earlier I explained, wait for the setup, wait for the play to happen. Plenty of time to get into this stock. I would be out up here if anybody's in. But don't listen to me. I get out too early. I just showed you that. But that's what I see. I see weakening. Look what the indicator's doing. It's saying it's not over because I got out. Not really, but I did instruct you to get out. So don't listen to me. It never dropped below the 8. I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love this setup. It has been a great blessing. Another new high. It's still going. We never once dropped below the 8 moving average because everything is in play. That candle's bullish. The buyers are still at it. At that 210 mark, and now we're at, well, a high of 254, 44 cents on a $2 stock. You are welcome, Mr. Rodriguez. The Lord has been good to us. He has provided. But He never said it was going to be easy, so you have to learn. Watch the videos. I'm telling you, they are important. Make yourself sick of watching them. This is what can happen to you if you've been a failure in the market. Big Mike, the tick chart just allows me to have a better entry. It moves a lot faster than the 1 minute chart does. It's actually counting orders and not volume. So when I see a lot of orders coming in on a tick chart, it's throwing the same arrows. It has the same moving averages. And it allows you to get in and get out quicker. So the video that's coming out this weekend, I'll probably put it out on Saturday morning, is going to be all about the tick chart and how to set it up and how to use it. It's a very important video for scalpers like us. Mike, to be honest with you, last night I kind of destroyed my version 2, which goes on to the tick chart. I don't have it set up right now. I need to go copy the link, and I can do that real quick though. It won't take me long. Let me go copy the link back and reload it. I was trying to see if I can make it work a little bit more than what it is, and I realized I couldn't. Let me see, version 2 right there. Copy. I need to set it back up anyway, so. Give me 1 second as I do that. I had to delete the one that I made a mess of last night. You will find that I'm always testing stuff and changing it around. Almost there. Where did it go? Where did it go? Did I copy the wrong link? It looks like I did. Copy. Well, where is it? Buy and sell label, pullback, version 4. Maybe I didn't call it that. Let me see what I did here. Preview. Ah. All right, I see what I did. There it is. All right, I'm fixing to change over to that tick chart for those of you who want to see it. You should have it any second. That was about an 8-second delay. That's how far we are running on the chart, on the back lag. So if you compare this to your 1-minute chart, if you can see my crosshairs on the screen, that is about $2.39 on the 1-minute chart. So that is near the top of the chart on the 1 minute. Back here is where the run began. This is how soon you could have gotten into this trade, was way back here. And that was the first dip on RGTI. And if you threw a line across here, you could have just stayed in the whole time according to the tick chart. I will be putting a video out this weekend with the script and all of the information you will need. So these are actually orders. If you look right here, I'm using a 133 tick chart. I'm just going to make this quick because this is going to be about part of my video. 133 means that each candle is 133 orders, not volume. They could be negative orders, they could be short sellers or buyers. But since I'm using version 2, which is the same as version 4, but version 4 is better because it's monitoring volume, this one is only monitoring orders. So it's set up, version 2 is set up for tick charts. We never lost it. Version 3, you can delete it if you have it. It is obsolete. 2 and 4 are the only ones we're keeping. So right here was the top of that 1 minute chart. It started selling off. It pulled up a little, but this was our warning on the tick chart. You won't see this on the 1 minute chart. So I'm not going to spoil the video. That's all you can see for today. They are the same, Captain. They are the 8 and the 21. Those are the most powerful moving averages you can use. Yeah, I like it. I think once you see the benefits of everything, you will be a successful trader. And that is my goal, to make everyone profitable. But you can't do it if you don't watch the videos. You need to watch these live streams. I know 6 o'clock is early for you late sleepers, but you're losing money by staying in bed. To Mimi, if you're on the Discord, I believe I put it in the current setup thing. Let me check. Let me verify that. Current setup. Gap and run. It is. It's in under member. It's under current setup. It says all stocks scan. I'm trying to put everything in Discord that's on YouTube. And every time I move something over, I do a little update and I got to move it over again. But everything's current. So it's Friday. This is what happens. It's after 9 o'clock. It's doing exactly what I said it was going to do. That's why I end the stream at 9:30. If you want to sit here and wait for something to pop up the rest of the day, that's your call. Me, I think I'm going to find something better to do. Something to go spend my $12 on. You are welcome, Sandra. Hopefully some of y'all that have already learned caught this move and at least made $13 today and not 12. Really, I hope you made a couple of $100. Very nice the way this works. Please learn it. I'm not misleading you. I'm giving it to you for free. It's up to you now. I know, Gregster. I'm still trying to find that balance of watching the chat, watching the chart. I'm used to not being disturbed, concentrating, squeezing out every dollar I can find. I'll find that balance. I'm not worried about it right now. We're launching one of the most powerful YouTube channels. I've been concentrating more on that side. I know I'm losing money. You don't have to tell me. But it's all for a purpose. It's included in my journey. My journey is to make you successful. My blessings will come. Every time I give, I get a lot more back. You are welcome, Dragonfire. See, I'm talking again. The play was back here. All you got to do is click the mouse and keep watching them. Amen, Parabolic. Thank you, Jay. Thank you very much. I love what I do. I love that you love what I do. Thank you, Casey. Now you have to admit, this is a lot better than, hey, buy this and try it. It might work for you. You don't know how many times I fell for that. Captain, I have never traded futures. I cannot answer that question. The way I usually answer those is if it has volume and it has volume spikes, it should work. I know the options traders are using it and they are successful, but I don't trade options. I like doing this part right here. I don't need to get outside of what I know best. I don't care that you can get in cheaper with options. I don't have that problem. This is what I know. This is what I want to continually feed my brain. If you lose here, that's not a reason to change strategies. We all lose. We are not all winners. We're just improving the odds. What this will do for you is it'll cut your losses short and increase your gains. You're going to lose, just cut them short, just get out. Something didn't work out, might not be you. Somebody might have been sitting in the background waiting to sell 100,000 shares on you. Those things are going to happen. Nothing we can do about them. But this happens a lot more than that guy sitting there waiting to sell when you're in. You too, Mr. Rodriguez. Have you noticed everything I clicked on is up? Something's working correctly here. So this weekend, do me a favor. Go watch the videos. Learn. Practice. If your on-demand's working for you, get on there. Do it every day. If you're sitting around doing nothing, you should be practicing. This is a gap filler for when you're bored at home. May not get anything else done, but at least you're learning. Refer us over to a friend. We don't want their money. We want them to come learn. Even if they haven't traded before, if they learn this, they're going to learn a lot. Even the cable guy yesterday walked into my office where he installed the cable and immediately was excited. How are you doing that? How do you know these are going up? I don't. The system is doing it for me. What? Only use the 0 in pre-market. But on slow days like this, you can test the 0. But all it's going to find is the ones that are only moving a couple of pennies and back down. I have a couple of guys that actually put this on 1,000, which would be 10% before market open, because they only want to see the ones that have really taken off. I guess that's a new way to use this tool. Dada, this is the trading course. Watch the videos on YouTube. Let me get those channels and get those links for you. This is the YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Let me get the Discord channel. We need you over on Discord as well. People will help you there. Here is the Discord channel. Join us. Don't forget to subscribe, like the videos, and hit the bell icon. Everything is important. There is no false information here. It's all free. If somebody tries to charge you, it's not me. Don't pay them. I heard somebody was using my up $2 name. I'm gonna suspect he put a zero where my, he put a zero where my O is. He manipulated my name somehow. Don't let him fool you. We don't charge people here. We help them. This is our slow crawlers. Remember them? Here they are. They are slow crawling. This is a very powerful slow crawler scan. You are welcome. No volume spikes. I have about 6.5 minutes to go. Anybody have any questions? Watch these live streams over. We had a good one on Monday, if you remember. About 2 hours and 5 minutes into that video, you can watch that stock that went from $3.75 all the way up to $60. If you don't believe me, go look at it. It'll happen again one day, maybe not as good, but even if it's 100%, that's a lot of money. I think that one was 2,000%. Thank you, sir. I did. The Discord channel is right above your post. It says discord.gg. Data, I don't know. I quit trading every day at 9:30. If you're set up like this and you want to sit there and wait for the volume spike to take off, you have my blessing, but I'm not going to do it. Mainly because it's Friday. Super, I updated that yesterday. Go to the Discord channel. Click on current setup. It's near the bottom of the page. It's right off of my system. See you later, Tamimi. Thank you for joining us. You're welcome, Greg. You too. Thank you, Captain. Thank you, Super. Thank you, Mike. Bill, I don't. Mainly because every one of you should have this on your own system. If I go down, it just happens. But it shouldn't happen anymore. As of yesterday, I had a new service put in. And I can't recall ever having a power failure unless we had a severe storm. And that's very rare. Thank you, Harleys. Thank you, Sicilian. Thank you, Robert Warren. See you later, Bill VW. Bob Smith. It's all about trusting the system. One minute to go. Thank you, everybody who showed up. I'll be back on Monday morning at 6 a.m. Please join us. This weekend, do yourself a favor. If you have the time, go watch the videos. Replay the live streams if you want to. I trade from 6 in the morning till about 9:30, and I quit. When the market turns around, I'm going to sit here all day long as we're making money. That's what we're waiting on. We're waiting on the market to change. Thank you, Parabolic. Thank you, Gregster. Yes, I'm Central Time. Thank you, Brian T. The watch list indicator, Bradley, is the number coming from the gap scan. So everything is about math. The higher that number, the better chance that stock has of doing what it's supposed to do. So the gap and run scan and that number are connected together. You're welcome, who loves Lunatic. Dada, I'm not a shorter. I used to be. The reason I changed is because I felt like I was dragging every company down further than they were already. Every company's been suffering over the last years, and I didn't want to participate in helping them hit the bottom. That's the reason I don't short. Thank you, Bradley Shields. And I'm out of here. Have a blessed weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.